Hi, this is Scott, and when I want to know what's going on in the wide world of sports, I tune to Sportsworldradio.
Looking for the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lomba.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Glad you all could be here with us on Sports World Radio, the Monday edition. Lots to get to, lots in the NFL, lots happening over the weekend in the sports industry. We'll get to all of that in just a minute. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll have some fun. I am Jeff Escow, the host of Sports World Radio. We do Sports World Radio each and every Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. If you live anywhere else, figure that crap out for yourself, because I sure as hell ain't doing it for you. Sports World Radio is brought to you by ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. Head on over there, pick up your microphones, your mic stands, your mic cords, your pop filters, anything you need at ProfessionalRecordingStudioEquipment.com. Check us out on Facebook at Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. While you're doing that, head on over to Twitter. Do it over there at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. And then do me a favor, head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com itself. When the notification bar comes down in the middle top of your screen, just click allow so you never miss a special episode of Sports World Radio or anything that's going on here at Sports World Radio. With all that being said, what do you say? Hey, we get the second half of Sports World Radio in here. The one, the only, Elliot Biggie Lomba. What's going on, bro?
Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Under the weather, but strong enough to be here.
There you go. That's what I like to see and hear.
So,
rough weekend, huh?
All the way around, man. I mean, it was just something that was... Everything came from left field this weekend. Everything. From the death of the Marlins pitcher, Jose Fernandez, to the death of Arnold Palmer in the same day. For those of you out there who ever saw Do the Right Thing, we lost Radio Raheem this week as well. And then, I mean, football in general as a whole was pretty unrealistic.
Yeah, what's going on in the football world? Because that this whole week was freaking...
It's upside down.
This whole week was unbelievable.
I mean, nothing is what it appears to be.
No.
And from a fantasy perspective, that is insanity. You know how insane that can drive a person? It seems like everybody's Bill Belichick these days.
I don't know what the hell's going on, man.
In the fantasy world. Well, I mean, it's weird. I mean, it's just strange. The scoring, look, this week the scoring in my other league was uncharacteristically small or low.
Right.
I mean, it was just, I mean, look, in our league, we had two games that both teams in those games were under 100 points.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. I mean, let me give you a little perspective on how this situation looks here.
How my team do?
Your team is still undefeated along with me.
Good deal.
We are the last two undefeated.
So you beat Scott.
I whooped the shit out of Scott.
That's why he's late, that rat bastard.
He's still recovering, man.
That's why he's late.
I beat the snot out of Scott. Wow. He's got one person playing tonight, I think. Hang on, let me check.
Ain't gonna matter nothing, is it?
Oh, it matters. It matters absolutely nothing. The person is Jacob Tammy. And unless Jacob Tammy scores 55 points tonight, Scott's done.
Way to go, Scott. That's why you're late. That's why you sent me that.
I'm a little late. I'm up by almost just a smidge under 54 points right now.
Okay.
and he's got Jacob Tammy playing tonight. And then Josh put the mollywop in there.
There he is.
Oh, there he is, right
There
on.
he is. Right on time. Right as we were talking about your ass.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I had a bad weekend. Yes, I know. Yes, I know. And it doesn't matter what I would have done. It doesn't matter. He had just his.
It was an
if I had optimized my lineup, it still wouldn't be enough. So it's all good.
Your roster just wasn't up to par with my lineup yesterday.
Well, no, it doesn't help the fact that Ben Roethlisberger only scored 8 freaking points. Too.
What's up with that?
Hey, listen, take it with a grain of salt, because you know what? It could have been worse if I had started LaShawn McCoy.
I know. I saw that too.
I benched LaShawn McCoy. That cost me 17 points, or else you'd be down by like 70 points right now.
Wow. Instead of only 50.
Instead of 53.
Yeah, I don't think my tight end's going to score 53.
I don't think he scored 53 fantasy points in his career. So that's what I'm saying. Now, getting back to the other undefeated remaining in the league, which is Josh. He put a whooping to Mark yesterday. And he still has
Guru, really?
Yeah, he's Sports Guru got 139. Josh is sitting at 170, and he still has Devontae Freeman playing tonight.
Holy shit balls. Jiminy Christmas.
It didn't
Jeff's
help.
loving this shit. Listen to him.
It didn't help that D'Angelo Williams only scored 6.4 points.
Yeah.
It didn't help him that Will Fuller only scored 4.6. It didn't help him that Spencer Ware only got 6.8, and Brandon McManus only got 4. So he lost a lot of points there.
Yeah.
Whereas Josh, I mean, come on. 26 from Aaron Rodgers. He got nothing from Decker and Forte. They combined for 11 points total.
How much?
11.
Wow.
And he still put a whooping on him. Why? Because he had T.Y. Hilton, who scored 27, Travis Kelce, who scored 18, Marvin Jones scored 35.5, and Quan Bolden put up another 10. And he had 36 from the Jets defense, who picked Ryan Fitzpatrick off 6 times.
6 times.
Wow.
6 times.
Wow. Way to go, Joshy.
So right now, Josh is 3-0. He has me beat right now by like 9 points, so that puts him in actually the first position. We're tied at 3-0. So he's going to increase that a little bit with whatever Devontae Freeman does tonight.
I do believe Gary's calling you out there, Jeff.
I'm writing something down right now. He only shows up if and
And the
when
Giants lose.
If Washington would have lost, you wouldn't have heard from him.
Correct. Only when Washington beats the Giants does he show up.
Okay.
But you know what? The Giants beat themselves yesterday. Washington didn't do spectacular.
No,
The
he likes
Giants
it to
did what
himself.
they did all last season. They let go of a fourth quarter lead.
Yep, they do what they do best.
They did what
I'm looking at the scores. I got excited for a second because the infirmary is actually winning.
Yeah, but you see, the infirmary is up right now by a little over 9 points.
Who's playing?
He's playing Paul. But you see, Paul has
He's loaded tonight. He really is.
Coleman, he has Julio Jones and Brandon or Brian.
No, it's Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks, right? While in the infirmary has Mohamed Sanu, which ain't bad, but he's got Kobe Fleener.
Yes. So Lance is crossing his fingers.
And he wound up leaving Darren Sproles on his bench, who scored 21.7.
Oh, he did not. Oh, look at that.
He played guys like McKinnon and Whitaker ahead of Darren Sproles.
God.
which most people might have, but still, Darren Sproles, man, that dude can play. He's like the white Danny Woodhead, dude.
I know, right?
I mean, the black Danny Woodhead.
Right. Yeah, I know what you meant.
So, I mean, he's good to have. But the infirmary, I mean, he didn't get much. Like I said, he's playing Whitaker, McKinnon, Nunwa didn't do anything. Dorsett didn't do anything.
When anybody plays
you know what?
This week.
If Doug Baldwin doesn't score 26 points yesterday, he's somewhere in the 70s right now. Okay, as it stands, he's at 89, and you know what? He's going to be hard pressed to break 100 tonight. I'm telling you right now, he's going to be hard pressed to break 100.
Yeah.
He should have played. Even John Brown got 10 points yesterday.
I know.
That was 10. You know what? Quincy Enunwa and Philip Dorsett combined for 9.9. So John Brown by himself got more points than both.
Wow.
Just goes to show you. Ronnie got hammered on his birthday, and I don't mean at the bar either. He got blitzed by Kevin. Desmond Confused. Mm-hmm. He's up on him right now, 104-70. And yesterday was Ronnie's birthday. Here's one for the ages. I mean, Josh by himself has outscored both these teams put together. Yeah, Jeff Higgins and Brett have combined for a grand total of 153 points combined.
Nice.
Together. Josh has 170 by himself.
Wow.
And do they have anybody playing tonight?
Yes.
No,
they do not.
That's the final score. 78.46 to 74.88.
Wow.
So Josh could have beat both these guys in a handicap. By himself. Is that crazy? But anyway, Brett wound up getting the win. So hooray for Brett. And then we've got the FFMX Showdown, where right now
it's close.
Nick has a just a little under 28-point lead, 19 and change.
But that's going to change.
I feel bad for him because Derek has Drew Brees playing tonight. And I got a feeling Drew Brees is going to crush 19 points. He might score twice that many. Okay, so, yeah, if Drew Brees can easily put up 30 points tonight. And all he needs is 19. So it looks like Nick might be the basement dweller at 0-3. Unless something
boy.
happens to Drew Brees. He'll be right there, tied with the infirmary.
Yes. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. I mean, it just boggles the mind, don't you think? So now let's get back to discussing the sport itself. We'll do more fantasy talk on Thursday when we go back to the regular night. But in football right now, hey, the Jets claimed us Austin Seferian Jenkins.
Really?
The Jets did.
The Jets did. Yes, they did. And apparently Bowles ripped Jets players and coaches for the disaster that was that game they showed up for, but didn't quite play with. Hey! What's up?
Who's slamming the Jets players and coaches?
The coach.
Oh, the coaches. Okay.
The coach is going crazy on them boys. That was disgusting. That was one of the worst exhibitions of offensive football I have ever seen.
And Jeff loved every single minute of it.
And it wasn't because Kansas City was doing anything special. It was because the Jets was just effing up all over the place.
Yeah, well, kind of like Eli did that last drive.
6 interceptions. Yeah, well, Eli is Eli. He does that. Eli's like a goofy Brett Favre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I do.
He does.
But
he's got more rings
He's
than
gonna win big or lose big. There's no in between with Eli.
Correct.
Okay. So, Bowles is definitely ripping into him. And hey, I can't say I blamed him. You know what I mean? So Austin Seferian-Jenkins gets to resurrect or attempt to resurrect his career in New York, which New York, hey, they need a tight end. They don't have a legitimate tight end playing for them right now. So who knows? Maybe a change of scenery. I hate to, for a guy that with a DUI or whatever it was that he got. Actually, New York might not be bad for him because he doesn't have to drive there.
Unless he lives in New Jersey.
Driving is not necessary. And usually when they live in New Jersey, they'll drive to a train station and leave their car there.
Right.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You really want to drive across that bridge while Christie's still governor? I don't think so. But anyway, the Pats, they don't know what's going on with their week 4 starting quarterback. They're still up in the air. They have no clue.
Well, Rex don't care, he says.
Hey, Gary, you only come out when Washington wins. Go back in your freaking hole, will you?
And the Oakland Raiders cut their longtime fullback Marcel Reese today.
They cut him today.
Yep. Yeah, he's been on the injured list.
Oh, has he?
He got injured in the preseason. And now they just flat out cut him. So he's done. And, wow. Shane Vereen is getting tricep surgery. He's done for the season.
Giants have no running back now.
No, I know.
Yeah. Well, they have Orleans Darkwa. He scored over 12 fantasy points yesterday. And they got a rookie by the name of Paul Perkins.
Yeah, they got to go find them a running back now.
They've been waiting to showcase. So,
yeah, we'll see. That's just going to put more pressure on Eli. You know that, right?
It will, yes.
Out there. Oh, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. But, yeah, Shane Vereen went down.
Who do they play this week?
The Giants?
Yeah. Oh, they're off. Oh, they play. Who do they play this week?
I don't know. You guys got a schedule over there?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. They play Minnesota at home on Monday Night Football.
Ooh, that's not good. Because that Minnesota defense is...
That's for legit. They're legit.
That game is actually in Minnesota, too.
Oh, forget it, dude. Forget it.
You know, yeah, this week's game's coming up. I have no idea who I'm picking for my survival freaking team.
Last year the Giants...
You almost lost your survival pick this week, brother.
No.
Last year...
Not for a missed field goal, just a little bit to the left. You'd have been done.
Yeah, Elliot and I were talking about that.
The Giants went to Minnesota, that game where Odell was suspended.
Yeah, they got killed.
They got destroyed, dude.
Yeah.
And now with this defense...
Yeah.
You see what that defense did to Carolina yesterday?
Yeah, it was
10 points.
It opened my eyes as to how good that defense really is.
Yesterday, was like Elliot said in the green room, yesterday was upside down day.
Yeah.
Totally upside down, dude. I think me, Derek, and Nick got 5 right. Jeff got
We got Denver right. I was lone wolf on Denver and got
it right. Yeah, we're going to go over that here in a minute.
Yeah.
But yesterday was just topsy-turvy. And
got 6.
Talk about.
You got 6 right yesterday. Woo!
No, you got 6. I got 5. Although Yahoo translates to 4 because for some reason I didn't change the Tennessee-Oakland game, which I don't remember picking Tennessee, but oh well.
Yeah, I got 8.
Basically, yeah. As I told Jeff, I'm probably just going to do mine manually from now on because I seem to always forget, and I don't ever do the tiebreakers either. You know what I'm saying? So just with all this other fantasy stuff and trying to do the show stuff and, this, that, and the other.
That's why when we do the stuff on Thursday, I make my picks on Thursday while you guys are talking.
Yeah.
And then Sunday comes, and then if I change anything,
I don't prioritize the pick'em part, on Yahoo, so I wind up forgetting.
Well, see, I've already picked all my games for week 4 already.
Oh, okay.
I'm already ahead of the schedule.
I can't pick my games that far in advance. I have to get injury reports, and
then Sunday morning I'll go in with you guys, and if I change anything, I'll change it right there.
Yeah. Well, Sunday mornings I usually since I'm doing the whole show, I just don't get around to it.
Right.
Like I said, it's just I don't prioritize it, and that's the problem. So, well, let's see. It looks like
Brett said he got 8 right.
Me too.
All right, good job, guys. It was a bad week, but we're going to talk. We're going to talk about that here in a minute.
Yeah, hey, Gary says he uses the mobile app on his phone to make his picks.
With which hand?
The only arm he's got.
Well, I don't know which one it is, so that's why I'm asking.
It's his right arm, right? Your right arm, right?
There was no offense. I didn't know which arm he had left.
Well, he's got both of them, but only one really works.
Oh, okay.
The one that's going to slap you. You better be.
And I ask once again, which one is that?
Hey, Gary, you better be Stretch Armstrong all the way over there from London, you rat bastard. It's the right one. That's what I thought.
Yeah, you might want to worry more about ISIS out there, dude.
Yeah, it's the right one. Can you?
The one that's going to slap you. That's great.
Can you imagine him being a security guard?
A security guard?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. That's funny.
How does he cuff people?
I don't know. I'm a security on movie sets.
All right, well, again, as I mentioned earlier, the Giants suffered a major loss in Shane Vereen getting a tricep injury. Also, they're missing Rashad Jennings. So, although there is optimism that he will be back this week. So, Rashad Jennings looks like he's going to be getting a lot of work coming up. Also, 2 carries for -5 yards. Running back Ryan Matthews sat in favor of Sproles, Smallwood, and Barner. What a combination. This sounds like a law firm indeed. Rappaport reported Matthews' ankle stiffened, which caused the Eagles to keep him on the sideline. They say Matthews is the number 1 back, and if he's healthy, he will play this coming week. After what they did to Pittsburgh, I would keep Matthews out of the game.
That game, I mean.
Your old buddy Jordan Cameron suffered another concussion yesterday.
We'll go figure.
Isn't he like notorious for those?
Yeah. That's why he's not playing for Cleveland anymore.
And Arian Foster will not play Thursday night.
Still got a hamstring issue.
Groin.
No, groin, excuse me. You're correct.
It's the groin. Yeah, he's going to be out again. So that was a serious committee there with Williams and Jaye and Barner for Miami yesterday. I think their fantasy split was like 7, 8, and 8. They all had like 7, 8, or 8 points. So that was a serious split there. D'Angelo Hall, Redskins cornerback, suffered a torn ACL against the Giants yesterday. So that doesn't do any favors for the Washington defense, who actually also lost Brashad Breeland, who is now week to week with an ankle injury.
Hey, Gary, that's an ugly selfie.
It's not looking good for that Washington defense there, Gary.
They won, but at what cost?
At what cost is right.
Yeah.
Willie Snead, did I make this call right or what? I pulled Willie Snead out. Remember we were talking about this yesterday on the fantasy show?
So.
I had Willie Snead in my lineup, and I pulled him out because of the toe thing. I said, I'm not going to take a chance that Monday night comes around and I got a donut sitting in that wide receiver spot. And sure enough, Willie Snead is not playing tonight. So, good call.
There you go.
Wow. Russell Wilson has an MCL sprain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Say goodbye to Seattle.
No.
I don't know. That backup did pretty good, I thought.
Yeah,
that defense, they're never out of it.
Who's the backup?
Tyrone, isn't it Tyrone Pope or some shit like that?
No, it's a kid from TCU.
Exactly.
Well, hunt that name. He actually did pretty good. He didn't look no different than what Dak Prescott is doing with Dallas. But they're not done because it says here he expects to practice on Wednesday and play on Sunday.
Trevon Boykin.
Yeah, he played well. He played really well. And also, Chris Carroll also announced that Thomas Rawls is going to be out for about a month.
Yes.
With a fibula injury. But you know what? The way Christy Michael ran yesterday, Thomas Rawls might be out of a job.
Michael had a breakout game yesterday. That's why we were talking about that.
24 fantasy points.
Yeah, we talked about that on the pre-show yesterday morning about with Rawls not looking over his shoulder. It's going to be something for Boykin to get me, not Boykin, but for Michael to go off on.
We call it C-Mike is his name. C-Mike.
Yes.
So basically, like we discussed yesterday, C-Mike was getting this opportunity to finally try to cement his position as the lead back, the number one back in Seattle.
Yeah.
And if yesterday's game was any indicator, he might have just done that. Now, the big test will come next week when they go to MetLife and, against the Jets.
Right.
The Jets have a pretty good run defense.
Yeah.
So we'll see how
you couldn't tell it by yesterday's performance, but that's okay.
No, the run defense wasn't. It was the rest of the defense, and of course Ryan Fitzpatrick. I mean, come on, if you're going to keep bringing your defense on the field on turnovers, your defense eventually is going to crumble.
Right.
You know, no defense, I don't care how good it is, can go without at least some modicum of rest.
Right. Boykin was 7 of 9 for 65 yards and a touchdown yesterday.
Fitzpatrick?
No, Boykin.
Boykin. See?
Yeah.
Not a bad.
He did have a pick. But it was they didn't.
Deflection? I think it was a deflection, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was a deflection.
Yeah, but it didn't hurt the game, did it?
No, it didn't hurt at all. Michael had 20 touches for 106 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 41-yarder.
Wow.
41-yarder with within the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. It was like the first play they ran from scrimmage.
Yes.
Wow. Hey, how did Bortles do yesterday?
Blake Bortles was a disaster yesterday.
Yes, he was.
Oh yeah, break out your starter center. Let's talk about.
A little coinky dinky there or what?
Let's talk about. Well, let me finish this injury report.
Good. Yeah, I want to get to this. We need some laughter in the show.
Is a little gimpy right now. Looks like Jamal Charles could be back this week. He'll be on a snap count, so I would still, if you have Spencer Ware, I would still keep him.
I wouldn't touch Jamal Charles.
Chris Ivory suffered both a sprained knee and ankle and Sundays.
And he had one reception for 9 yards.
But he still played through it and finished the game.
Uh-huh.
Jeremy Langford, ankle sprain last night against Dallas.
That hurts Derek.
That's going to make Jason Howard look good on that waiver wire this week.
Right.
Let's see, who else? Marvin Lewis said Monday night that Tyler Eifert is close to returning. So whoever owns Tyler Eifert, I think that's Nick, isn't it? Didn't he trade for him?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was the trade he made with, I forget. And it looks like Michael Floyd of the Cardinals has been placed in concussion protocol.
Oh, great.
Yeah. That's another game we need to discuss thoroughly. It was a disaster. But
I know a certain Canadian who was very happy with the outcome of the game yesterday.
yeah, I do too. I know several people that feel that way. But okay, so we've been through the NFL news. We've covered the fantasy. Let's go on ahead and discuss the stardom sit-em. You want to do that, or you want me to do the game?
We'll do stardom and sit-em. I got them right here.
Okay.
Let's start off with Derek. He had, for his start quarterbacks, he had Rivers, Mariota, and Bortles.
Mariota bust, Bortles bust, Rivers not sure.
You said to play Rivers?
Yes.
Well, Bortles had 194 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he also had 3 picks.
Yeah. So how many points did he finish with?
Oh, I don't know.
Looks like Phillip Rivers only had 11.4 points. For a quarterback, that's not of his stature against that Indianapolis defense. That's an awful game.
So all 3 of them were a bust?
Looks like that. It would be the appearance. What was the other one? Bortles?
Bortles and Mariota were the other 2, yeah.
I know Mariota. You know, Mariota really disgusted me because he had such a great chance against that pathetic Oakland defense, and he couldn't do nothing. Anyway, Bortles had 11.46.
So all
Correct.
3 of them were a bust yesterday.
And Rivers was 11.4, so yeah.
Yeah, so they were like right there. As a matter of fact, they just finished playing against each other, and they almost had identical scores.
Yes.
And the last one was
Mariota.
Mariota. Cut off my roster this week.
He isn't even in the top 25.
Mariota, 4.76.
Yes.
So Derek's starters was a
To a
total
team
bust.
that was allowing 40 fantasy points to quarterback.
Wow.
He scored 4.76.
Wow.
That's
Okay,
disgusting.
so all 3 of Derek's stardom quarterbacks were bust. Rivers, Mariota, and Bortles.
Bust, and super bust.
Okay, let's go over
Hey,
to his sit-em.
big old asterisk next to Mariota as a super bust.
Let's go over to quarterback sit-ems and Derek's. He had Cousins sitting.
Cousins had a good game.
19.34 points.
That's a good game.
Okay, so that's a bust of a freaking pick.
Better than Mariota, who I cut Cousins for.
He also had Winston.
Who scored 25.5 in a loss.
That's a good
So
game.
that's a pretty good game, right?
No. That's a really good game.
Yes, it
And
is.
then he also sat Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton.
I don't
Well,
think he
Andy
did
Dalton
that.
had 10.24, so that wasn't too bad.
How much?
10.24.
10?
Yes.
No, 10 is not.
Okay, so out of the 6
I mean, it's not, no,
quarterbacks,
For a
yeah.
quarterback of Andy Dalton's caliber, 10.24 is nothing.
okay,
That's
so
why
out
I
of
said
the-
he was okay with that one pick, is what I was trying to get to.
That one was his perfect pick.
Okay,
Yes.
so out of the 6 picks for the start him and the pick him and the quarterbacks, he got one right. Andy Dalton.
One right.
Yeah.
Wow. Is he getting a razz and a crap? That's just for quarterbacks. We haven't gone anywhere else yet.
How Nick, did he do Nick?
Yeah, get him. Attack.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they're going at each other. Yeah.
Budweiser, so you can watch a Budweiser cat fight, yo.
Scott, put a ring around that crap and let them go at each other.
Put him in a cage, man.
Yeah, put them in that cage right there. You go, buddy.
Let him have a cage match for supremacy.
That wasn't Nick, Brett. That was Derek. He's yelling. Like, they understand what you're saying, dude.
You don't feel sorry for Nick, Brett. Come on now. You know you don't need that.
Okay, Scott, first of all, they don't understand what the freak you're saying. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, just stick them both in the cage and let them go at each other. Yeah. How about I put it on a table, and that'll make some great entertainment.
Cage for like 5 minutes, and they can have a kitty cat death match.
Right.
For supremacy.
The oldest one will lose because the oldest one doesn't have any claws.
Oh, there you go.
I'm sure put it in a headlock or something. I don't know.
Kitty cat headlock.
Kitty cat headlock, huh?
Yeah. All right.
I've decided when I came home today after talking to coworkers, I'm done. Let those two let them figure it out.
Figure it out. They'll figure it out.
Right, man. Because
they'll figure it out.
They'll never figure it out. You know what they're vying for your attention.
That's right.
If you don't pay attention to either one of them, they'll chill out.
Okay, Gary. Look, lights went out on location. I got to go check it out. Go ahead, go do your job, will you? Go do something.
Yeah, go do your job.
Take your one arm and go do something, will you?
Really?
All right, so let's move over to the running backs. Derek's starting running backs. He had Ingram.
Now, wait a second. Did Nick do these at all?
No, yeah. You want to do Nick's quarterbacks first?
Let's go over to Nick's quarterbacks.
Okay, Nick's quarterbacks in his start. He had Phillip Rivers, which we know is not good.
Bust.
He had Carson Palmer.
Oh, Palmer was good at the end.
He was the worst rated quarterback outside of
Oh my God.
Palmer.
3
Carson
points.
Palmer was Carson Palmer was the worst rated quarterback.
He was worse than Mariota, dude. Worse than Mariota.
Okay, and he had Matt Ryan.
Well, that's tonight.
Okay, so you got Matt Ryan tonight. So 2 out of the 3 starters he has so far suck.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move over to his sit-ins. He got Andy.
He's rolling right along, just like Derek. Huh?
Right. Well, not now because he's got Andy Dalton sitting, which was right.
Yeah, that was good.
Okay, he's got Sam Bradford sitting.
That's a good choice.
Is it?
How many points did Bradford have?
10.64.
10.64?
Yes.
Against the Carolina defense.
That's worse than Rivers.
Yeah. No, actually, 10.4 is not good.
And then he had Tyrod Taylor, sitting.
Tyrod Taylor did.
That would have been a mistake because Tyrod had 16.36 points.
Okay.
Tyrod Taylor was 16 points against that Arizona defense.
So out of the 6, he got 3 right. He did better than freaking Derek.
Well, he's
There's a first for everything.
We're waiting on Matt Ryan, though, right?
Yes, we're waiting on Matt Ryan for tonight.
So
Correct.
He got a 5 right now.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay, let's move over to the running backs.
That one right because Matt Ryan is playing New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. At running backs, Derek had Mark Ingram.
To play or sit?
To play. These are starters.
Ingram plays tonight.
Okay.
This is for running back, right?
Right. Running back. Frank Gore.
Frank Gore
14.8 points.
No, that's a good game.
That's what I'm saying. That's the start. He said, or the starter said. He said,
Start.
Oh, okay. It's good. Yes.
He said start. It's a good start.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Murray.
Which Murray?
L.
Marco?
Murray. L. Murray.
Latavius had a good game.
Latavius Murray.
Okay. So far, the 2 of the 3 he's got there.
Murray had 10.3.
Okay. So we're waiting on Ingram to find out time. Okay.
On 1.2 is what their projected was at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way to look at it.
Okay. So sitting for running backs, he had C. Hyde.
Carlos Hyde?
Carlos Hyde had 25 points.
Okay. J. Hill.
Jeremy Hill, and he had a lot of points against
21.7 points.
And Chris Ivory.
Chris Ivory, he did good with that because he got injured.
Ivory had like, what, 2 points?
Yeah, he got injured, so yeah.
Okay, let's go over to Nick's. Okay. Nick had for starters, Ingram starting tonight.
Yeah.
He had Gordon.
Melvin Gordon.
Gordon had 15.8 points. That's a good start.
Okay. And he had Matt Forte.
Oh, no.
Oh, hold on. Matt Forte.
Under 10 points.
Yeah, under 10 points. Absolutely.
Okay.
So it was not a good start.
So we're finding out about Ingram tonight, so we got to wait for that. Over on the sit-ems in running backs, he had Hill, of course, we know, no good.
That's wrong.
He He had
that was wrong. Yeah.
right. He had Hyde, which was wrong as well.
Yep.
And he had who the hell is that? Shirt? What the hell is that?
Huh?
QRW? Huh?
What?
I don't know I don't know what that last name is.
Spell it.
I spelled it QRWOD.
Oh, Anunua?
No.
Quincy?
No. And then the spelling of that last name.
And how you spelling the last name?
Oh,
Isaiah Crowell.
that's it.
Isaiah
Thank you. Well, that's it.
Yeah, he had like 9 points.
Yeah, he had less than 10 points.
So he was how do you spell that last name?
It is Crowell.
Well,
CROWELL.
Yes.
Crowell.
Thank you. Okay. So he didn't have any points, so he's good right where he's at, right?
7.9.
Yeah, he
Okay.
finished under 10, so he's good at first sit.
Yeah.
Let's move over to wide receivers. Derek starting. Fitzgerald.
Larry Fitzgerald did not have a good game.
Nope.
Landry.
Jarvis Landry did. He had 23.10.
Okay, and Benjamin.
Kelvin and Benjamin had his big
No.
fat dome.
0.
T.
Kelvin?
Benjamin.
Oh,
T.
Travis, he only had
Travis
8.
Ben-
He only had 8 points.
Yeah, still only had 8 points here.
Okay.
Crabtree had a better game.
All right, let's move over to Derek's Siddams for wide receiver. Cobb.
Yeah, that was a good pick. Cobb was good.
And if anybody would know, it would be Scott over
Yeah,
here.
right.
Yeah, it sucked. He sucked. I'm done with Cobb.
Matter of fact, you left Barnage on the bench, and he put up 11 points.
I know. I should have put Barnage in and taken Cobb out. You're correct.
D. Thomas.
Demarius Thomas actually had a good game.
He had
17 points.
yeah, that was a bad call right there.
and of course, he got Sammy Watkins right.
Sammy, what?
Yeah.
No.
What?
As a start?
No, sit him.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sammy Watkins didn't even play, so that
Right.
wouldn't even.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, let's move over to wide receivers, Nick. D. Robinson.
D. Robinson. Who the hell is D. Robinson?
Hey, Robinson?
No,
Allen?
I got it as D.
I don't know of a D. Robinson. I know of an Allen Robinson.
No, I can't. It's either a D or an O. But it's more likely a
know.
D. The way my
No.
handwriting is, it looks like a D.
It's got to be Allen Robinson. It can't be a D or an O.
He's the only Robinson
He's
relevant
the only
one.
Robinson playing wide receiver right now in the
Okay.
NFL that I can.
All right. What did he have as a start?
He had 21.2. So yes, it's a good start.
Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson. Okay.
Jacksonville.
Denard Robinson. Who would pick Denard Robinson?
Nick.
No,
To start?
To start?
Start.
No, he would have meant Allen Robinson, not Denard Robinson.
Yeah.
Nick's not that far out in left field. Dude. Denard Robinson is not a starter. He's really a backup guy.
Actually, I think we asked Derek, and Derek said Denard Robinson.
Then Derek was smoking crack that morning. I would give him Allen Robinson as a good one.
Was it a good pick?
Was it
Yes.
good start?
28 over 21 points.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Derek's word for it then,
Okay.
because
We'll
Derek
find out Thursday when Nick comes on.
Yeah.
Okay, M. Jones.
Marvin Jones, yes.
Yes.
some-
Marvin Jones had a beast of a day.
In some leagues, he scored like 45 fantasy points.
Wow.
And Marvin Jones had the best day of anybody in our league at 35.5 points.
And then
Yep.
T. Sharp.
Tajay Sharp did not have a good game.
Okay. Moving over to the sits. Randall Cobb he had down there. E. Sanders.
Who?
E. Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders was number 2 in the league at 28.2, so he missed that one.
Okay, and then you got Sammy Watkins right. Okay, so let's move over to tight ends for Derek. Greg Olson.
Bad game.
Bad game.
Okay, this is starts. D. Walker.
Bad game. He got injured too, I think.
Yep. Delaney Walker got injured.
And
Delaney
Ebron.
Walker didn't even start.
He didn't even play, that's right.
And what about
He didn't play.
Ebron?
Ebron had a decent game, I think.
Eric Ebron had 9.4 points. That's not too bad for a tight end.
No, but you got to hit the 10 mark.
Yep.
Okay, so we're giving him a mark, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. For Derek Sitz, Barnage.
Had
Oh, no.
11.1.
11.1 points. That's
You missed
not,
on that one. Take
Fleener.
that, Derek.
Fleener.
Colby Fleener.
tonight.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
And then G. Cook.
G. Cook.
Tight ends.
Who the hell is G. Cook?
It would be J. Cook. Jared Cook.
Okay, I thought he spelled it with a G.
J.
Okay.
Jared Cook, yeah, he wasn't a good start.
He wasn't even in
He was
top
a sit-em.
25.
Sit-em. So he was a good sit-em, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's move over to Knicks tight ends. Greg Olson had a bad game. Had a good game.
Yes.
Had a bad
No,
game.
had a bad game.
Had a
Yeah,
bad game, right?
not a good choice for starting.
Right. Ebron was a bad choice, right?
Yes.
And Jay Thomas.
Julius Thomas was awful. He only had like
Yeah.
3.
Yeah, Julius Thomas had a bad game.
Okay, so those were all his starts. So all
Well,
three of his
because
starts.
all of us had an awful game, so you know that. What's
Right.
his name?
So all three of those guys had bad games, right?
Yes.
Okay, they were all his starts. His sit-ems were Jay James.
Yeah, James didn't do. Pittsburgh offense didn't do much of anything except for Antonio Brown.
Okay, so he
Jesse
sat
James.
James. He sat Bennett and Bennett.
Oh, Martellus Bennett, he didn't do anything either.
No.
Him and Gronk combined for 3 points. I think.
And he also sat Barnage.
Another bad choice.
bad choice.
Barnage had a good game, right?
Yes.
11.1.
Okay.
This is from a guy that scored 0 points in his first game of the season.
Wow. Wow.
And he's come back to score double digits in a game where people probably thought he would have been closer to scoring that 0 again against Miami than the 11. But you notice that he wasn't being used until Terrell Pryor came in the game.
Right.
That's when Barnage started getting his work.
Well, Kessler hit him a couple of times, too. It wasn't all Terrell Pryor.
I think, but Terrell Pryor is the one that started getting him involved. In the beginning, he wasn't doing it. Eventually, when Kessler was coming back in, because they were alternating. So later in the game, Kessler started going to Barnage. But in the beginning, he wasn't.
Okay, we only got 2 more categories to go, guys. Kickers,
Yeah.
Jay Tucker starting for Derek. Jay Tucker.
Yes, absolutely. He
Just
scored
absolutely 17 points for Justin Tucker.
So that's a good one.
24 in my league.
He sat Nugent.
For 18. That,
Yeah, he sat Nugent.
Yeah, Mike Nugent only had 5 points.
So that was a good one, right?
Yeah.
For his defense, he started Seattle.
That would have been a good choice.
that was a good choice.
For his defense, he sat the Vikings.
No!
No, he did not. Don't tell me he did that.
He did.
The Vikings
He sat the
scored
Vikings.
27 points as a defense.
He sat the Vikings.
That one gets an asterisk as well.
He sat the Vikings. Okay, let's move over to Knicks.
Well,
Knicks.
now Seattle only had 5 points, so that was a bad set. That was a bad start too.
Yeah, that was a bad start too because
Okay.
Howie put those touchdowns in the second half. So
Okay, so his defense sucked yesterday, both the start
He
and finish.
sat the Vikings. Oh my God.
Okay, Knicks kicker was D. Bell.
hey, look, hang on just a second.
Yeah.
Moving forward, people, if you have the Minnesota, you don't sit the Minnesota defense. Okay? The
Play them
purple,
on your bye week, for God's sake. Come on.
purple people eaters 2.0 are here.
That's great.
That's a good safety tip, by the way.
For kicker starter, he had D. Bailey.
Dan Bailey.
Game, he had like about 9 points or something like
Is that good for kicker?
Kickers
He
not
had 8
bad.
points against the Bears.
Kickers don't get elevated. Usually a kicker is going to be somewhere between 8 and 14 points.
Yeah.
So 8 on the low side, 14 on the high side.
Yeah.
Okay, so he had 8. What do you want to do? He started him.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's good.
He sat
I'll
B.
get 8 points from a kicker.
Okay. He sat B. Walsh.
Blair Walsh.
I think he actually put up a few points. I'm not sure. With that 22 score, you would think he had, 5 field goals or something?
Blair Walsh.
Unless there was a safety. There was a safety in the game. That's right.
Yeah, Blair Walsh had 5 points.
Okay.
5 points.
That was a good sit.
I thought he might have had more field goals because of the score, but I forgot there was a safety at the beginning.
Yeah.
You guys are going to like this one.
That's what turned the game around, right? Because Carolina was 10-0 at that point.
Yes.
And Minnesota's defense grew some hair after that.
Yes.
Because they got that safety, and they never looked back. They outscored Carolina 20-0 from that point.
Wow. Nick's defense, he started Houston.
Oh, no.
Oh, bad.
Oh, no. No.
He started Houston, and he sat the Chiefs.
Oh, no.
Actually, I think
6 points later.
the Chiefs scored more than the freaking Vikings, man.
He sat the Chiefs.
So Derek and Nick sat the number 1 and number 2 defenses in the league this week.
Yeah, both of them should have done a flip-flop.
Yes.
The teams the defense that they started, they should have sat, and the defense they sat, they should have started. Both of them.
Exactly.
Jeff is gonna have a field day on Thursday.
This is Derek's. You ready? Here's Derek's.
Hey, wait, hang on. Whoa. Even my shades can't put that
That's
yellow.
a lot of freaking yellow, man. Holy cow.
Holy Christ, dude.
And here's Nick.
Hey, I ain't seen a bushel of bananas that yellow.
Holy shit balls. Oh, my God. Just when you thought week 2 couldn't have been any worse. Here comes week number 3.
In fact, you want to know something? So far, week 2 has been the best for them. Because at least they have a couple of circles where they got the whole categories right. This week they didn't get crap right. There's no circles nowhere.
Except for the kicker.
This week.
Right. Except for the kickers, and they don't count.
Okay. Well, I can give you a few preliminaries on that I've gotten to so far. On the higher lower.
Yeah.
Okay. On the higher, okay, so the first game, Fitzgerald, McCoy, it was Fitzgerald 11.5. He only scored 9.5. We all said high. Wrong. We all said higher, 10.5. LaShawn McCoy, he scored 25.1.
Yep.
So that was a higher, and I think we all said higher on that one. Yeah. Okay, Minnesota, Bradford, 15.5. He only scored 10.64. We all said lower. We got that right. Travis Benjamin, right off the bat, dude, he got 0.
Wow.
I mean, Calvin Benjamin, excuse me.
Calvin, not Travis.
0 from a 17.5.
Wow.
That just goes to tell you how badass the Minnesota defense was yesterday.
Right.
This kid had like 30, an average of about 25 to 30 fantasy points in weeks 1 and 2, and he scored 0. They held Cam Newton, the highest fantasy scorer last season, to 13 points, if that. That was pathetic. Carolina looked like the Carolina of pre-camp.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so moving right along, Demaryius Thomas, we all said lower. He totally crushed it. What did he finish with again, Scott? 17?
Demaryius Thomas?
Yeah. He had 20-something?
Hang on.
17, I think he had.
17 even.
Yeah, we said lower. We said lower. We were all wrong. We said Dalton. Well, me and Derek got this one right. Dalton, we said lower. Scott said higher. He only scored 10.24. and it was 15.5 as the target. We all said higher on Theo Riddick. He came in lower from 12.5 to an 8.3. Randall Cobb, 13.5. We all got that one right.
Yeah, he sucks.
Hey, he got 3.8 points, and it was his
on
first
one catch for 33 yards.
In the first quarter.
Yes, he was like the first guy Rodgers threw to. That's the last time he saw the freaking football.
The way he caught that, the way he got involved in that one play, you would think this is going to be a good fantasy game for Randall Cobb.
I'm going, yeah, give it more to Cobb. Give it to him. Feed him the ball. Yeah, no, it didn't happen. Fucker. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
I don't think he even got any more targets after that, dude.
I don't think he did either.
Hey, they threw more to Devontae Adams than they did to Randall Cobb, man.
Jordy Nelson had a good game, though, for me.
All right, so we all got that one right. I got the next one wrong. You guys picked Pitta to come in under 12.5. He only had 7.5. So Ivory, we all said lower. He came in lower with 2.8. We all said lower on Crowell. We got that one right as well. We changed that one at the last minute, remember?
Yeah.
With the Duke Johnson thing and whatnot. Tannehill, we all said higher. It was 19.5.
He didn't get that high.
And he got 18.96.
Wow.
Half a point. But we got it wrong. Kirk Cousins, we said lower than 16.5. He got 19.34.
Mm-hmm.
We got that one wrong. The next one, we all got right. Sterling Shepard cleared 12.5 with a 15.8. Clive over at Walford and the Oakland Raiders, 9.5. You guys said higher. I said lower. He came in with 3.7. So. To Jay Sharp, we all said above 13.5. We got that wrong. 6.3. As far as the defenses in San Francisco and Seattle, neither one of them hit the 15.5 threshold. So we were right on the San Francisco one and wrong on the Seattle one. All right. Todd Gurley, I believe he scored in the 20s, did he not? I don't have these. I'm just going off the top of my head with these now.
Breaking news, guys. I'm sorry to break in. Greg Hardy was just arrested in Richardson for possession of a controlled substance.
Okay.
Well, he's not with a football team anyway, right? Is he?
No.
That means Jerry Jones will be signing him to a contract next week.
Probably. The way their defense is playing.
Okay, so Todd Gurley. I think he scored 21 or something like that. Are you looking for that, Scott?
What's that?
Todd Gurley.
Are you serious?
Oh, Gurley. Yeah. Gurley.
Come on, man.
Mr. Gurley had 20.5.
There you go. So that's a little over 12.5. Scott got that one wrong. Me and Derek got the right on that one. Okay, next up, how'd Charles Sims do?
Charles Sims ended up with 21.4. He did better than Gurley.
Okay, and you got that one right. We got it wrong. You said he would score higher than 13.5, and he did. Travis Benjamin, 19.5. We all said higher. That was ridiculous, as I think he didn't even clear 10 points, did he? 8.2, I believe he scored.
Yeah, he's not even in the top 25, so yeah.
So we all lost that one. We had a great week, even in all of these.
Yeah.
It was just awful. All right, Philip Dorsett. I said higher. You guys got it right. He didn't even have 10 points, 15.5. Quincy Enunwa, you said lower. I think that was right.
Enunwa, is that tight end?
I think he got 5.6 or something like that.
Was he a tight end?
Yeah. Quincy Enunwa. He got 5.6, I think. You got that one right. We got that one wrong. We all got Jesse James wrong.
Yeah.
We all got Carson Wentz wrong. Jeremy Langford was wrong. Oh, well, for Derek, it was wrong. We got that one right. Dak Prescott. I know he scored more than 13.5, right?
I think he did, yes.
If he did, we all got that one right, too.
Dak Prescott was 23.52 points.
And they really want to bring Tony Romo back?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, they do.
Are you freaking kidding me with that? Come on, man.
Oh, Gary, shut
Hey,
up.
I'll have the final results on the Thursday show as soon as I calculate them. We still ain't done with the perfect lineup because we have some participants in tonight's game that have to chime in with their points.
Mm-hmm.
But just to give you an idea, we were far from picking perfect quarterbacks, Scott. You picked Rivers at 11.4, and I had Luck at 13.2. I don't think that there's anything perfect about those quarterback scores. Who was the high-scoring quarterback this week?
That would be to
this point, because we still got Breeze and Ryan.
That would be Mr. Trevor Siemian.
Siemian?
With 28.98 points.
Holy.
He threw for 312 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Wow.
You know, I'm going to write his name over here just as a sidebar, just in case Drew Brees and Ryan don't score 28 points. That's going to be amazing, dude. All right, let's see. Me and Derek chose David Johnson as our RB1s.
That worked out almost pretty well. He still had 24.6.
Well, that's working out really well as far as I'm concerned.
He had 24.6.
And Matt Forte was your choice. He had 7.4.
Yeah, nice choice you got there, buddy.
He's got Mark Ingram tonight, so we don't know that score yet. We both chose D'Angelo Williams as the RB2. 6.4 for D'Angelo Williams. Matter of fact, I believe Christine Michael would probably be sitting up there as one of the
yes, Christine Michael actually scored 24.1.
Yeah.
The
So
number
he'd
one
be up
running
there.
back,
Yeah.
Yeah, the number one running back this week was Shady
McCoy, right? Who was 2?
Yep. Carlos Hyde, believe it or not.
Wow. So the perfect lineup would be Shady and Carlos Hyde as your 1 and 2, huh?
Yes.
And who's
Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. See, we not any of us. Shit, I benched Shady McCoy.
See?
Huh?
See, bench Shady McCoy. See?
Yeah, Gary, Marco Murray had 24 points. He was number 5 on the list.
Yeah, here's the thing, though, Jeff. If I wouldn't have benched Shady McCoy, I would have destroyed Scott even worse than I would.
Yeah, so quit your bitching, Scott.
All right, so we both, in this mix here, we flip-flop Beckham and Brown as the 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, we didn't work out. It didn't matter whether we flipped them or not. We still sucked in that one.
No.
Brown had 20.
Who were the top 2? Yeah, well,
Marvin
the top
Jones
2
and Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, those are not really good. They're good fantasies, representative points, but as far as in the perfect lineup, no. We'll find out tomorrow for sure. Once the games are over tonight. Anyway, we chose Olsen. You chose Julius Thomas as the number 1 tight end. Who was the number 1 tight end?
Zach Miller.
How many?
23.8.
You. Our guys had
2 touchdowns.
Our guys had 9.4 and 2.3.
Yes. Cameron Brate was number 2 for the Buccaneers with 19.1. He had 2 touchdown passes.
Did I not tell you? Did I not mention that name a few times?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Thank you very much. Thank you for confirming. All right. Julio Jones and Brandon Cooks play tonight. So that one. In the kickers, you chose Matt Bryant. He's also tonight.
Yeah.
Kickers was interesting because I think Derek chose the perfect one. Justin Tucker, 24.
He did choose Justin Tucker. Tucker had 17 points.
Wow.
And I had McManus. What did he finish with?
McManus finished with, let's soon as I finish scrolling down here, he's not even in the top 25.
Ooh, really? I thought he had like 18 points or something like that.
No. Dustin Hopkins was the number one kicker with 19 points this week.
Wow. He definitely killed the Giants. All right, well, anyway, McManus was not a perfect choice for the kickers. So that was just
no.
And on defense, me and Derek went with Seattle. That didn't work out too well with 5.
No. McManus had 4 points, by the way.
But Scott went with Pittsburgh, and they scored a -1.
Oh,
That's why you lost, Scott. Way to pick the defense. Who was your other defense? No other defense?
The perfect pick. The other defense was Seattle. We chose Seattle. He chose Pittsburgh. But I mean, I gotta be happy with 5 as opposed to -1.
Who had Kansas City's defense playing?
Nobody.
that would be Josh.
Oh, Josh did. That's right.
Yeah, playing their lineup, Josh. But nobody did that for the perfect pick. They were the perfect defense this week so far.
Them and the Vikings, right?
Yes.
Well, Vikings, I think, scored 35, right?
Vikings scored 27.
27.
Yeah, but if somebody would have said the Vikings instead of Kansas City, you would have said, "Oh, that was a good pick," right?
Look, I look at it this way: if you got the Vikings or you got Kansas City, you're doing all right.
No, in your perfect pick, right? Nobody picked the Vikings or Kansas City, right?
Correct.
And Vikings were the second best defense in the league this week, right? Fantasy?
Correct.
So if somebody would have picked the Vikings, you would have said, "Oh, that was a good pick," even though they were second best in the league, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I would have said if you had the Vikings, start the Vikings. But the Vikings are for real, people. They're looking like that Baltimore defense,
Which kind of surprises me a little bit.
They look like that Baltimore defense from 2000, with Ray Lewis and the boys.
The Vikings defense, that kind of surprises me a little bit. I didn't think it was like that. You know what I'm saying?
I told you, man, Purple People Eaters 2.0. All right, so let's go ahead and go over yesterday's debacle of a lineup of games that we have here.
Sure was, wasn't it?
It all started with a 27-0 victory on Thursday by New England, in which we all picked Houston.
And we should have known it was coming.
And, because right now, Bill Belichick can quarterback himself and win the game.
He can get Scott the quarterback, and they can win the game, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. He's not too far off.
No.
Not at all. Okay, so it picked up from there as the Arizona Cardinals. Correct me if I'm wrong, but did this not look like a team that just flew from Arizona to New York on Saturday night to play a game on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got issues in special teams, especially the long snapper and the kicking game.
Oh my God, they were done in the first quarter as far as
Yeah.
And when Shady McCoy started sticking that ball in the end zone, I was like, man, it's a good thing Scott's team sucks, or else I'd be in trouble right now.
That's funny.
Well, we all took another one to the chin on that. So starting out the week, we were all 0-2. Didn't stop there. As 0-3, we all chose Carolina.
Yeah.
That was a bust. As Minnesota's defense went in there and chewed up. I mean, come on. A combined 13 points between Kelvin Benjamin and Cam.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and that defense is legit, and it's shades of Denver's defense from last year.
I'm going to tell you, the Minnesota defense, unless it's a bye week, is a must-play in fantasy football.
And you know what? If I didn't have the Broncos defense, I'd pick them up, but I've got the Broncos defense, so I'm not worried about it.
Broncos scored
Minnesota does not have an owner right now in our league.
Hint for anybody out there that needs defense. You better get them or I will. Y'all don't want Big E to go undefeated this year, right?
No.
No, I sure as hell don't. I don't want to, because we'll never hear the end of it.
I won't say a thing. I'll just collect
You're lying. Shut up, Elliot.
I will take my portion of the money, and that'll be enough talk for me. Money has a way of humbling the situation. All right. Congratulations to Scott for going out on the limb with Denver, as Denver Cincinnati yesterday. So at this point, we're all 0-4 except for Scott. He's 1-3. This is just an indication as to how this week actually went.
Yeah, didn't everybody pick the Jets? Didn't everybody pick the Jets and I picked KC?
Yes, you did.
Well, when we get to that, we'll figure it out. But give me just a second while we get through these other games first. Detroit at Green Bay. Well, we picked that one right?
Yeah, about time we got one right.
So, for fantasy purposes, Matthew Stafford wound up finishing as the best fantasy quarterback of the week so far.
Wow.
So far.
Yeah. Well, I think he scored, 39 points or something like that?
No, sir, he did not.
What did he score?
Hang on, I'll tell you.
Well, I must be thinking about the other leagues.
Yeah, because, yeah.
I forgot. We're in the stingy league.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, hang on.
I'll be right back, boys.
What the hell? Oh. He was number 2 for the week with 26.5.
Okay. Still, 26.5 is good. And who's number 1? Aaron Rodgers?
That'd be Trevor Siemian.
Trevor Siemian, that's right. You just said that.
With 28.98, almost 29 points.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers wasn't too far behind Matt Stafford. He was at 26.4.
Yeah, I know I had him in one of my other leagues, so he did well for me there. I was even surprised that Eddie Lacy actually contributed this week. And yes, I did sit around the cob in that league.
He had 11 points this week, which isn't too bad.
For Lacy, that's a mine. That's a gold mine. Okay,
Correct.
you get 11 points out of Eddie Lacy, you're doing good. That's all I got to say on that. All right, in the Baltimore-Jacksonville game, you guys, you and Jeff went with Baltimore. Congratulations, you guys got that
Thank
one.
you very much.
We all took a whiff on Jacksonville, and I would suggest pretty much that Jacksonville, you take a whiff on them for the rest of the season because it doesn't look like nothing changed over the – actually, they improved their defense, and it looks like their offense got worse.
Jeff's happy about that.
I say it every year. Nobody ever listens to me.
All right. Here's the game that I don't think Scott wants to talk about. Miami and Cleveland.
Freaking game.
No, I don't mind talking about this game. And the reason I say that is because the Browns had a chance to win that game at the end. Well, they hung in there. They played tough. They didn't give up. They got down 2 scores and came back and tied the game. So I'm not unhappy with it.
Wait a second. But then, in true Cleveland fashion,
they missed a freaking field goal at the end.
They missed the field goal.
Yeah.
That would have won them the game.
Yes.
And at that point in time, I'm sure that all around the globe, people were like, only the Cleveland Browns.
And they actually decided to kick off in overtime, which was stupid.
Well, they did stop them on the first drive.
Yes.
But they didn't do anything with their possession.
Nope.
And then that's when they wound up losing. But again, the chant, I could hear the chant only in Cleveland. Only the Cleveland Browns could pull some shit like that.
I'm glad I didn't watch that game because that was my freaking survival game there.
You'd have been sweating.
You had a heart attack, dude. We would have been having to call the cardiac unit at whatever local hospital you got
I'm
nearby.
glad I didn't watch it, man. I watched the first half of the Giants game, and then I went to sleep.
Well, that's a good segue because we all picked the Giants, and we see how that worked out. I don't know. The Giants' defense did not show up the way they did in the first 2 games.
No, and then they lost the running back.
But with all that, I mean, yeah, they lost Shane Vereen, which is not a good thing, especially when Rashad Jennings is injured as well. Although supposedly Rashad Jennings will
on
be
his way back, yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing. But I would say watch out for a kid by the name of Paul Perkins in New York. Just remember that name. Just remember that name for the future. Okay. And they also got that kid Orleans Darkwa. He actually put up 12.6 fantasy points yesterday or something like that. Something close to that.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, we can't see you, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can see him.
Oh no, he's like off the screen. Oh, that's because. Oh, that's because. I'm sorry, my screen is shrunk down. That's why. I'm sorry. You were probably being able to see by everybody else.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so we all took Oakland on Sunday. For some reason, my shit said Tennessee on Yahoo Pick'em. So yeah, a little sour about that one. But it was ugly. It was probably some of the ugliest football you're ever going to watch.
T.Y. Hilton had a good game.
He had 40 fantasy points.
Yeah.
In one place.
Yeah.
In our league, right? 39 and change?
No, I don't know about that. Hang on. T.Y. Hilton. Hold on. 27.4 in our league.
Well, in one of my other leagues, he had 39 and change.
Wow.
Yeah, he had a big game.
Yeah.
How many points did he have in our league?
27.4.
That's
And
nice.
I benched him.
Thank you, God.
No, he wasn't on my team in this
Josh has him on. Josh has him in this league.
Correct.
league. Yeah, my other league, I'll tell you the story real quick. Remember I told you I played Gronkowski. I played Gronkowski, got the big fat donut, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And I was playing Paul. We were both projected to score over 200 points, right? Right now, Paul is sitting on 84 points.
Whoa.
Yeah. He is sitting on 84 points. Let me break it down for you here. Okay. He is currently sitting at 84 points because here we go. He had Andrew Luck, which I thought, you know what, with his quarterbacks, I
That's
thought
a good play.
Remember, I told you guys, I don't feel good about this thing with Paul this week after Gronkowski got me zip, right? So anyway, Andrew Luck comes in with a 13.24.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of all that, I didn't expect Philadelphia to come out looking like gangbusters. And Roethlisberger, who was his other quarterback, only had 6.98.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his
6
quarterbacks barely eclipsed 20 points combined.
Yeah.
Right. He had Eddie Lacy, who gave him 11.5 points, which is not bad for Eddie Lacy. But then he got stuck with D'Angelo Williams at 8.4. Now, his thing is he's got Le'Veon Bell also, so he'll be playing Le'Veon Bell from here on out.
Yeah.
But that didn't look good yesterday. Then I got the matching zero because he also has Kelvin Benjamin. So I got the zero to offset the Gronkowski zero that I got on Thursday. Jarvis Landry came in with 27.25. But that kind of was offset because I had Tannehill in the left. He scored 19. So I only lost 8 points in there, but if I don't have Tannehill, I don't have those. If I would have played Mariota, I wouldn't even been in the game.
Right.
You know. C.J. Anderson didn't do much for anybody, but fortunately I had Ezekiel Elliott and Gordon. They combined for 36 points.
Zeke had a good game for me last night.
And then Paul had Chris Boswell, who scored 3 points, and the Pittsburgh defense, who scored a -2. He's got Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman. He needs to score 71 points between those two guys tonight to beat me. Now, I managed to score 155 while I had 55 points sitting on the bench between Doug Baldwin and Christian Michael.
Jesus.
Wow.
So if I would have had them in the game, should I have had them in the game, the score, I would have had 210 points this week, and Paul would be sitting on 84 as we speak. That would have been the most tremendous ass whooping of all time. But anyway, yeah, for some reason the guy shined down on me after that debacle that Gronkowski pulled. I wound up getting 26 from Antonio Brown, 19 from Odell. Dorsett and Sharp didn't really do anything for me. That's why I probably should have had Christian Michael and Doug Baldwin. Bailey gave me 8 points. And the Cardinals defense, despite the fact that they gave up a bunch of points, they still got me 16 fantasy points. So I wasn't too shaken up about that. It was better than the 3 I would have got with Houston.
Right.
So, but anyway, yeah. Next game up, San Francisco, Seattle. Wow.
Welcome back, offensive. Welcome back, Seattle offense.
What? And the thing is, Tyler Lockett wasn't even a factor much in that game.
Baldwin had a big game. Baldwin
went crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Baldwin had 26 points in our league, he had 8 receptions for 164 yards and a touchdown. So, he had a great game, including one spectacular Sports Center top 10 catch, just
that catch was
going horizontal with one hand catching that ball.
That's some Odell shit he did right there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then Christian Michael, come on now.
It's totally, I guess in the pregame. No Rawls looking over his shoulder, he can go up.
And you know what? After that performance, if he continues with that type of contribution, then you might have seen a very diminished role put in place for Thomas Rawls coming back.
Yeah.
If I was Seattle, honestly, I would consider moving Rawls on somewhere else because they've got a couple of good other running backs that can step into the backup role with Christian Michael. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, that game, for a while there, San Francisco only had 10 points, which is what I projected they would score. But in the end, they put up a few more. It was a pretty high-scoring game, right? 37-20-something?
Something like that, yeah. Why can't I find the scores? No. Seattle. $37-18.
37-18, yeah. So those 15 points in the fourth quarter kind of just threw it for a loop there. But
Yep.
It didn't look anything worse than freaking 24. Pittsburgh, oh my God. Well, anyway, we'll get to those. The interesting situation yesterday in Tampa when the Lightning started coming and they cleared the field at the end of the game.
It was an hour. It was an hour delay, hour and a half delay almost.
37-32 was the final. Tampa just, they didn't have any defense.
The sports media in this town is going insane.
I bet you they are.
Over?
Oh my God.
Over
Jameis and his ballet dance at the end of the game. Okay. The fact that Dirk Cutter didn't manage the clock properly, had 2 timeouts and didn't use any of them except with 4 seconds left to play. Oh, the defense is horrendous. Mike Smith is going to get run out of town. I'm telling you right now, it's going to happen. They're just, with the talent on this football team, there's no reason why they should have lost to the Rams. The Rams hadn't scored a touchdown in 22 years. LA, that is. And they scored 9 points against Seattle. They didn't score at all against San Francisco. And then they put up 37 points against the Buccaneers defense. They had no business scoring that many.
On the road.
Case Keenum ripped them apart.
Case Keenum.
Think about that. Case Keenum.
And upset. You can't say much more after that. That's a mic drop. That's a mic drop moment right there.
And Jameis Winston made some of the poorest decisions. He was overthrowing receivers. He had On that last drive, he had Vincent Jackson wide open for a touchdown and overthrew it. Missed it.
Yeah, and these days you can't be overthrowing Vincent Jackson because he doesn't get open very often.
No, I mean, Mike Evans had a good game. He had 10 catches for 132 yards and a touchdown. He had 24 fantasy points. But
he's their stud, dude.
He is. He is.
He's their stud.
But
yeah,
the media in this town is going nuts, going insane.
Why?
Because they lost to the Rams.
Because they lost to a Rams team that had no business scoring 37 points when they only scored 9 in their first 2 games.
Exactly. There's an old skit from Married with Children where Bud is telling his dad this, his dad's got the game on, and Al says, "Leave me alone, kid. I'm watching the game." He says, "When you turn the game off," says, "Skid, don't you understand? This is an important game. The Bears are playing the Rams, and if you lose to the Rams, you get thrown out of the league."
But just to put it in perspective, in their first 2 games, they scored a total of 9 points. They scored slightly over 4 times that many points against Tampa yesterday. 4 times. That's incredible.
Case Keenum.
Enough
said. Or you could say Jeff Fisher. Enough said.
He ain't going to be there too much longer.
Mic drop. All right. All right, Jeff, go ahead and break that arm, patting yourself on the back for picking Kansas City over the Jets. That was just a disgusting display of offensive football by the Jets. They might as well have had Tim Tebow back there.
I didn't think it was going to be that bad, guys. Come on now.
It looked like there was Tim Tebow back in the back.
Patrick did look like Tim Tebow, didn't he?
Yes.
In contrast to what he did, and this was with 10 days rest because they played Thursday Night Football.
And
so
they beat the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo, and the offense looked great. But then they come and go into Kansas City, which I understand Arrowhead's a difficult place to play, but you don't throw 6 picks.
Yeah, but you know what happened? You know what happened is that they choked off Matt Forte.
Yeah, Fitz. Just to let you know, you're supposed to throw the guys in the white jerseys, not the ones in the red, okay?
Oopsie.
Well, hey, that's not fair because Rich Gannon did throw 5 touchdowns in the Super Bowl against Tampa. It's just he threw 3 of those to Tampa. So on that stage, that's the most colossal bust I've ever seen.
Okay. Here's the dumbass statement of the day. Gary has brought it out. I'm going to say it again. He goes, well, it's Case Keenum because Fisher is a great head coach. Gary, you're an idiot. He says Fisher is a great head coach.
If Fisher was a great head coach and he accomplished, and that was why he accomplished what Keenum, and that's why Keenum accomplished what he did yesterday, then where the hell was he in games 1 and 2?
Keenum accomplished what he did yesterday because the defensive scheme on the Tampa Bay side was terrible and it was weak, and our safeties suck.
Yeah, plus
he is not a great head coach. You know how long ago that Super Bowl was, Gary? How long ago was that Super Bowl?
And what was the end result? They lost.
Fisher is a consistent 8-8 head coach.
Hey, that's what he was in Tennessee, except for the Music City Miracle. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl. They shouldn't have even been in that Super Bowl with that thing that happened in Buffalo. So
it wouldn't matter if it was. It wouldn't matter if it was Buffalo or Tennessee. The Rams still would have won that game.
They were blessed to be there, but they were cursed at the end when they fell 1 yard short.
Fisher is not a great head coach. Fisher is a mediocre head coach.
Mediocre.
Was he like that as a player?
Yeah, if he was still,
he wasn't playing at all. I don't remember him playing.
Brett makes a point. If he was such a great coach, he'd still be with Tennessee.
That's correct.
Great coaches tend to stay with their team for long, long times.
Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm. The good ones.
Yeah. Mike Tomlin.
Tom Landry. Yeah.
Chuck Noll.
Yeah.
Don Shula.
They stick around. You know what I'm saying? Tennessee got impatient.
Gary, stop. Just stop typing now,
Look,
Gary.
first of all, it was probably Derek Fisher was probably a contributor to what's his name that got drafted out of Texas, the quarterback, the one that won the Heisman. Remember they played USC that year?
Vincent Young.
Vince Young, yeah. You know, Vince Young, I mean, he had his issues, but I don't think that Jeff Fisher was the coach that Vince Young needed to start off his career. Because first of all, Fisher didn't want him. And then when he used him, he misused him.
Right.
Fisher basically treated him the same way that Shanahan treated RG3.
Yes. Jeff Fisher's career regular season head coaching record is 165 and 150. He is a mediocre average head coach.
Middle of the road. Middle of the road. And you know what? I tend to think that a youngster like Vince Young, with the fact that he's coming into a situation where his head coach has zero confidence in him, doesn't even want him on the team, wasn't even his choice to be drafted.
Right.
Okay, he's already coming in behind the 8 ball.
Vince Young could have been Cam before Cam Newton.
Yeah, he could have been under the right coach.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But Tennessee force-fed it. And you know what? A great coach takes what you give him and he works with it. Case in point, Jacoby Brissett. That's all that Bill Belichick had this Thursday night. And he made the most of it with a 27-0 whitewashing of a team that was supposed to actually do that to them.
Mm-hmm. He has one Super Bowl ring as a player, but he played on the Bears, so he was just along for the ride on that team.
No. Did he ever
Fisher?
What's that?
Did Fisher ever win a Super Bowl as a player?
Yes, with the Bears.
With the Bears. Yeah.
Okay.
But as far as his head coaching goes, again, mediocre, slightly over 500 for his career. Not a hefty playoff record for all
his
those
postseason record is 5-6.
Yeah, 11 games in how many years? 20 plus.
Yes.
Yeah, 11 postseason games, not even appearances.
Not necessarily appearances, but games.
Over a 20-plus year coaching career.
That's not bad.
That is not somebody who is considered a great head coach. Yeah, and that's what made him look like a great head coach. The same way that John Elway and Terrell Davis made Mike Shanahan look like a great coach in Denver.
Yeah, it was Elway and Terrell Davis that ran that team. It wasn't Mike Shanahan.
Exactly. So the same stands true because you get Mike Shanahan's record outside of the Denver thing. What was his record? Not very good.
Sucked.
He didn't win anything with anybody.
He didn't do very well before he got to Denver. He didn't do very well when he left Denver. So
But in the years that he had McNair and George and those guys, yeah. But, you know, he didn't have those guys after that. And he's been nothing since. Absolutely nothing from a coaching standpoint. Yeah, he blew outside of Denver, but the only reason he was good in Denver was because of Elway and Davis.
Right.
Elway didn't get his ring until he had a running game, and that's when Terrell Davis showed up. That's when Elway got his ring.
And Mike Shanahan just happened to be there when it happened.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, because his success from that point on shows no merit
Correct.
whatsoever. Okay, so if you look at it, you know, again, Jeff Fisher, he's a coach that should be credited for longevity.
Yes.
Okay, he has dedicated his life to coaching, but he is no great coach by the standards of someone like a Bill Belichick or, Lombardi and all the great coaches that have coached in this league that have won multiple championships. Bill Walsh and guys like that. So, yeah, I gotta shoot that Jeff Fisher argument down, Gary. I'll let him cuss you out, but I'm just letting you know that you're wrong. All right, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Wow.
Oh, by the way, in Fisher's Super Bowl ring, he won it while being on injured reserve the entire season.
So he basically
That's even worse.
Yeah, so he basically did a Donald Trump that season and dodged it and still got rewarded. Okay, Pittsburgh and Philly. Did anyone on this planet see that coming besides lying Philly fans?
No.
No. And to go along the same lines as Minnesota, that Philly defense is the real deal. And then
I
again,
mentioned that the other day. I said Philly defense.
Yeah, so was Carson Wentz.
And Carson Wentz is amazing, dude.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, he stood in there. He looked all of a 10-year quarterback sitting.
Yeah.
The way he played. Did that pass he did to Sproles down the sideline?
Yeah, for the 73-yard touchdown.
That was a thing.
And anybody that thinks Darren Sproles has missed a step, watch the highlights of that game. You'll find out he hasn't missed a bit. Not a lick.
And that kid Smallwood that came in later, that kid can ball as well. Philadelphia's got a serious team. If they can if they can get a consistent receiver core, they're going to.
The last time Eagles were 3-0 and playing like this, they went to 2 Super Bowls. It's the years they went to Super Bowls. They lost in both those games, but still. That's the last time.
Think about this, folks. He doesn't even have Zach Ertz playing right now.
Correct.
Which is another huge weapon.
And they're playing in an average division, so they can take control of that division.
They're already taking control. They're 3-0.
They're 3-0. It's correct.
3-0. And
I know Jeff doesn't like to hear that, but it is what it is.
I'm sorry, and I'll be straight honest. And to all you lying Philly fans, there ain't nobody out there that's going to tell me that you expected not only 3-0, but to demolish the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. A defense that presented itself as being so intimidating that Scott chose them for his perfect lineup in fantasy.
Yeah.
And they scored negative points. Negative.
Gary, he's not 35 quite yet. He's 33.
Who?
Darren Sproles.
Yeah, no, he's not there yet. But, here's the thing. Darren Sproles, one thing that amazes me about Darren Sproles is that, again, as I mentioned earlier, I look at him as the black Danny Woodhead. And but his longevity has been something to admire because as little as he is, the thing that his saving grace is that his low center of gravity is what helps him. Kind of like a Barry Sims.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's not an every down back. He is a weapon out of the backfield, just how they used him yesterday.
He is PPR gold.
Yes, he is.
In fantasy.
Yes. In fact, he only had 2 attempts yesterday for -1 yards rushing.
Wow.
Right.
He got all his yards in the passing game.
Exactly. Everything came from the passing game. And it's the danger of somebody like Darren Sproles. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. Melvin Gordon didn't miss a step with Danny Woodhead missing.
No, he didn't.
Nope. Not at all. So, but yeah, 34-3. Who would have even imagined that?
I didn't see that coming. I thought it was going to be the other way around, 34-3 Pittsburgh.
Anybody could hold that offense to 3 points, ever.
I would have thought it would have been the other way around.
It was
34-3 Pittsburgh, not 34-3 Philly.
Yeah.
It was a total destruction of what everybody sensed was going to be a serious contender for the Super Bowl. But with that defense being exposed the way it was yesterday, and with the fact that Pittsburgh, maybe Le'Veon Bell coming back, I don't know, because D'Angelo Williams was tearing it up, and he got shut down yesterday too.
Yeah, anybody that wants to beat Pittsburgh needs to have that tape on permanent loop.
Absolutely.
Permanent loop.
Either that or the Carolina tape, Minnesota against Carolina. Those are the kind of tapes you want to be studying on what a grounded, balanced, and fundamental defense looks like.
Exactly.
So there you have it. Amazing. Congratulations to Philadelphia. Congratulations to Carson Wentz. I guess the one bright thing for Carson Wentz is that he doesn't have a Tony Romo to look forward to taking his job from him, even though he's doing really well.
No, Carson Wentz has thrown 102 passes without an interception his first 3 games. First rookie to ever do that.
Since 1970.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. I knew that stat.
I'm sorry, but I would be in some serious – if I was a Dallas fan, I'd be seriously complaining right now if they were if they were thinking about bringing Tony Romo back to start until this kid falls apart.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but that's not going to happen because Jerry Jones is going to want him to start. You know that.
He's going to mess up the chemistry.
That's because Jerry Jones is an idiot, Jeff.
Let him mess up the chemistry. I don't give a shit.
Well,
better for everybody else in that division. Let him mess up the chemistry.
Zeke had a breakout game too. He got his first PA of his best game as a pro yesterday too.
Yeah.
From a fantasy perspective, though, it's killing us, man. It's killing us.
I know.
As a matter of fact, Tony Romo's coming back, and nobody's going to even pick him up off waivers. They're going to keep Dak Prescott on the bench because Tony Romo will be out in game 1 anyway. First game back. See ya. No, even if he wins, Gary,
Romo, Jones already said it.
Jerry Jones said he doesn't care how Dak Prescott is playing when Tony Romo comes back.
That's right.
He's going to be the number one quarterback.
Correct.
At least for the first quarter of the
Dak
first game.
Dak Prescott could basically have Joe Montana and Tom Brady numbers by the time Romo comes back, and he'll be riding the bench once Romo does return. Which is totally a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's Jerry Jones for you.
Yeah, that is Jerry Jones. Bones down. All right. Chicago, Dallas. Dallas looked good yesterday. Speaking of Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, and even
yes.
I say Dez Bryant, it's starting to look like Dez again.
Hey, you know something? In that game yesterday, I picked a score of 13-17. At least I got the 17 right. I had Chicago winning 17-13. Chicago got 17 points.
Yeah, I know you went out on the limb on that one and got it wrong. The rest of us took Dallas.
I have a hard time picking them.
And I'm telling you, man, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, impressive. Still impressive to me is Cole Beasley.
Yes.
He's playing right now.
Well, he got whacked early and came right back in that game, didn't he? He took a pretty hard hit the first quarter of that game last night, and he was back on the field less than 2 plays later.
I mean, he reminds me of another Amendola and Edelman type player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of stuff that a rookie like Dak Prescott needs, and he's taking full advantage of it. You know, he's even made Terrence Williams relevant again.
Yes.
Terrence Williams was like MIA last season. And so far this season, he's been seeing a little bit more work. So hopefully for Terrence, that keeps up. So that does it for yesterday's games. Again, the perfect lineups, I'll have those all set and ready to go for the next time we meet. As far as the versus goes, remember I picked some games and I picked a player from each team. I got as far down as, well, here, let me just read them off. The first one was the Arizona Buffalo game. We had Michael Floyd versus LaShawn McCoy. We all took Floyd. Guess what happened? We all lost.
Of course we did.
As a matter of fact, Michael Floyd is injured right now, and that's not a good thing for Arizona either. He's in concussion protocol.
Yes, he is.
All right, Stephon Diggs and Kelvin Benjamin. We got that one wrong, obviously. But do you know that Stephon Diggs only had one catch for 8 yards? So he only had like 1.3 points.
What the hell happened with Stephon Diggs after that big game he had last week?
Yeah, he got shut down. They were going more to Kyle Rudolph this week than they were to Stephon Diggs.
Rudolph had a good game as a new father. He had a good game.
Yeah. So we all got that
catch in the end
wrong.
zone was amazing. That catch over his head he made.
Because one guy scored 1.3 and the other guy scored 0. I think we were wrong just all the way around. That was just a wrong matchup all the way around.
I mean, I'm even willing to give Derek and Nick some slack, because yesterday was a topsy-turvy week and nobody thought what was going to happen was going to happen.
It's awful, dude. It's awful. Yeah. I very rarely have bad weeks like that when I'm picking games, but this week was just topsy-turvy. Everything was upside down. All right, A.J. Green and C.J. Anderson. We got that one wrong, too. A.J. Green beat out C.J. Anderson. I think C.J. had, 4.5 fantasy points?
I don't know, but it was terrible.
He's on your team.
I know. And yes, I know I was playing you, so it is.
Yeah, so A.J. Green took that one. Eddie Lacy, you guys picked him over Theo Riddick. Eddie Lacy got 11. Theo Riddick got 8.3. So you guys got that one right. Not like they burned the scoreboard up or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you guys got the benefit of that. Forsett and Ivory, another one. Both 6.2 for Forsett, 2.8 for Ivory. But these matchups are putrid, aren't they?
Really lighting up the scoreboard, aren't they?
My goodness. Did Crowell do better than any of the Dolphins running backs or Duke Johnson? Or
Duke Johnson had a better game than Crowell did.
Well, how many points did Duke Johnson score?
Yeah, I was just there, too.
Because I know that Barner and Ajayi and Williams had like a combination of 8, 8, and 9 or something to that effect.
Actually, Crumbs, take that back. Crowell had hang on a second. Bear with me. I'm looking at something different here. Hang on a second. Week 3, bam. Okay. Duke Johnson ended up with 10.6 points.
Okay, so yeah, the Miami, we got that one right. The Miami,
Cleveland, the best running back for Miami got 10 points even. So Duke barely beat the Dolphins running back.
Bottom line is Duke Johnson beat out the Dolphins running backs,
yes. And
we all got that one right. Okay, Matt Jones, Shane Vereen. Unfortunately, Shane Vereen is done for the season, but he managed to beat out Matt Jones. I believe he had 14 fantasy points or something like that, or 12.
Shane Vereen.
I don't think Matt Jones got much for points. Take a look real quick.
What game was that again? I'm sorry.
Oh, Giants and Redskins.
Redskins.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to page 2.
Oh, wait a minute, Matt Jones.
Oh, we're talking tight ends. I'm sorry. Hang on a second. I was looking at wide receivers.
No, we're talking Matt Jones. Matt Jones and Shane Vereen are running backs. Huh?
Oh, my gosh. Hang on a second. All right, there we go. The hell was I thinking? Shane Vereen ended up with 14.5 points.
Right. So, and Jones only had 8.9. So Shane Vereen took one. We all got that one, right?
Yes.
Derek Carr and Mariota. Carr got that one right.
Yeah.
I gave Mariota benefit of the doubt, and look what he got me.
Yep.
Doug Baldwin and Torrey Smith. Obviously, Doug Baldwin beat all the San Francisco wide receivers.
Yes.
All the wide receivers combined.
This is the week where Nick could have gone with his sit all San Francisco wide receivers pick.
Here's a tough one. How many points did Evans get this week again?
Mike Evans?
Yeah.
24-20.
Okay, so he did beat out Todd Gurley, who had 20.5?
Correct.
Me and you got that one right. Derek got it wrong. He went with Gurley. Okay. We all got Travis Benjamin wrong because he went up against Travis Calvin. He went up. Well, no, it is Travis. But we got that one wrong because he went up against T.Y. Hilton, and Hilton scored like...
Hilton was number 4 overall this week, yes.
Ding, ding, ding. You know what I'm saying? He just rung the bell on that fantasy scoreboard this week. All right, Fitzpatrick and Alex Smith. I would say Alex Smith had the better game. 6 interceptions for Fitzpatrick. Yeah, right?
Correct. Alex Smith had 13 points, and Fitzgerald isn't even on the radar.
2. He had like 2.
Yeah. He isn't even on the radar.
That pretty sad, Jeff?
Yeah, that's very sad, man. That's ridiculously sad.
Like, I think 2 fantasy points.
What kind of crap is that?
That's disgusting.
2 fantasy.
Well, as a Giants fan, you're happy about it.
Think about it. In most leagues, he lost 12 fantasy points on interceptions alone.
Correct.
That's a
Gotta
chunk.
stop doing that, man.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Anyway, Jesse James and Brent Selleck.
Well, that's
Who
tight
had better
ends.
game? I know Ezekiel Elliott had a better game than Langford, so we got that one
Yes.
right. Who had the better game between Jesse James and Brent
That would be
Selleck?
Brent Selleck.
Brent Selleck, and we all went with Jesse James, so we lost that one. So it looks like I am all caught up here. Did you guys want to I haven't watched the pay-per-view. I really don't care. You guys want to talk about...
It was anticlimactic. I mean...
The ending sucked.
Yeah, it did. It really did.
Well, how did it end? Because I know that Seth Rollins is injured right now.
He got injured early in that match, too.
Yeah.
So, what did he injure?
His knee.
His knee.
Did he?
Yeah.
So that wasn't at work? It was...
Did Owens retain? Did Owens retain?
Yeah, Owens retained with the help of Jericho.
With help of Jericho, yeah. That whole thing was a debacle.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I love what
I know that they're taking Sasha and Bailey out of the women's championship picture.
That's a rumor. But Roman Reigns won the U.S. championship like we thought he would. Right. Charlotte retained her title, which was a bunch of bullcrap too.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Because I put an article out on my wrestling page.
Yeah.
They're taking Bailey and Sasha out of the picture because now they're going to put Charlotte up against Dana Brooke.
Why?
So they're replacing Sasha and Bailey with Dana Brooke as...
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Dana Brooke has no appeal, dude.
Nothing. None whatsoever. Nothing.
Dude, the only appeal she has is to Dolph Ziggler because he's the one doing that right now.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Yeah, I some of the matches were really ass-kicking.
Yeah, and matches they had. I mean, the Sami Zayn Jericho match was a really good match.
Yeah.
Cruiserweight match wasn't bad.
I didn't get to see the Cruiserweight match. I came in about half an hour after it started, so I didn't get to see it.
The Reigns the Reigns Rusev match was pretty damn freaking good.
Yeah, it was too. It was brutal. It was they were just beating the crap out of each other.
The Cesaro.
Oh, that was
Sheamus match. That was just
forever, dude.
That wasn't a match. That was just a beating.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a street fight. That was a brawl.
Yeah, basically. They actually stopped that match, and there's been no winner declared.
That match went really long.
Yeah, it did.
I was stunned. I actually saw that.
Yeah. So that was a really good match, and I'm really glad they started the pay-per-view off with the New Day match. Get that crap out of the way and get it over.
Who won that match?
Once again, New Day rocks.
Yeah. They won again?
Yeah.
Day rocks. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, gentlemen.
With the merchandise they're selling, they're going to hang on to those titles.
Merchandise keeps selling. The New Day will continue to be the tag team champions. They're selling merchandise at a clip that eclipses some of the bigger merchandise sellers in singles competition.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not going to.
They are making bank in merchandising, dude.
Oh God.
Yeah, I just didn't like the way the last match ended. That's all.
Well, the last match, I mean, it was a good match between those two. It was a really good match, and to end it that way, it's just
Jericho came out and screwed the whole thing up.
Yeah, the whole Jericho angle on that was stupid.
I like when Elijah Woods hit what's his name in the head with Francesca.
Well, before that happened, Elijah Wood got hit in the head with Francesca.
Yeah, I know. I saw they all got beat up. They came out just beating these guys up and turning up. But in the end, New Day pulled it right back out on them.
No, I was glad to see that. I don't like Gallows and Anderson.
No, I think they're a bunch of cocky little assholes.
Remember when that guy was Festus?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Go. 80!
For the rest of us. Oh yeah, it was. I some of those matches were freaking awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They ended it all wrong.
Yeah.
And
But you know what? Hasn't lately the pay-per-views been that way? They end them all wrong.
Yes.
I'd have been more satisfied with Triple H coming back out again.
Me too. And believe it or not, Inky left during the last match. She got out of there and went home. So she never saw the last match.
Did she really have to see the last
No.
match?
Obviously, she didn't care to see the last match because she took off.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I actually spent some time on the phone with her last night. I was kind of shocked.
How's she doing?
She's doing good. She's just exhausted.
Yeah.
Her parents
she's got another pay-per-view to do in 2 weeks.
See, her parents are out of town. They're up at her sister's house in up northern California because she just had a baby.
Yeah.
So she's home alone, taking care of all the dogs and doing all this and doing all this. She had to take the dogs with her to the wrestling match.
Yeah. I mean, she's got another one in 2 weeks too. So.
This one was fairly easy because it was it was only a 45-minute drive to her house, so she got to stay in her own bed. But yeah, she's got to go on the road in a couple of weeks. She's not happy. And I believe tonight.
I think so. I don't know.
So yeah, she's got to go to Cincinnati to do Raw tonight.
That's not too far from her house, though, right?
No, it's not.
In Kentucky, right?
Yeah.
I thought she only did pay-per-views though.
Well, she does the pay-per-views after. She does the pay-per-views, and then she has to do the Raw.
Do the Raw after the
the
pay-per-view. I got you.
Right.
Raw. She's doing Raw and SmackDown after the pay-per-views?
Yeah.
Okay.
After each pay-per-view, yeah.
Right. So instead of working 3 days a week, she's working 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 days a week now. 7 days a month now. Instead of working 2 days a month, she's working 7 days a month now. Yep. Oh, well. 6 days, whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean? Oh, well. But then she's working at home the whole time, too, though. So.
Well, that does it for me. And
let's get the flock out of here, huh?
Yeah, let's.
Right on time.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that debate to start in about an hour.
Debates tonight. We got wrestling tonight, and we also have Monday Night Football, which is starting in a little bit.
I won't be watching the debate. I can care less.
I'm going from the football game to the wrestling, and that's what I'm doing.
Me too.
Well, I got split screen. One side will be football, the other side will be wrestling, and then the debate on the big screen.
There you go.
And that's the way I'll be all evening.
I'm turning off my social media. I'm just going to sit here and watch TV.
U.S. champion rematch tonight?
Because the tweet storm that's going to happen during this freaking debate is going to be ridiculous.
No, it's going to be crazy. I might even get off of Facebook.
Yeah.
I just want to see Trump lose it and look like.
I'm going to be watching. I'm going from football to wrestling tonight, and that's it. That's all I'm doing.
It'll be a track meet in New Orleans.
Yeah.
And it'll be a train wreck in Cincinnati. So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other.
Unfortunately, Gary, I'm not really too fond of an Atlanta-New Orleans matchup. You know, from a fantasy perspective, it gives me a Woody, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, Gary and I are finalizing our match tonight. I'm 20 points ahead of him. I'm 20 points ahead of him, and he has Matt Ryan, and I have Drew Brees.
Ooh. Be interesting. Should be an interesting matchup then.
Gary, take that. You might want to take that L with a little hot sauce or salt. Make it a little tastier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow's show, we got Lance Brozdowski in the second hour talking Major League Baseball with us now. So that should be fun. Scott won't be back until, not you, Scott, the other Scott, he won't be back till Wednesday.
Have you confirmed Lance for tomorrow?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
He's kind of upset that he hasn't been able to make it.
Did we confirm Ron for Wednesday?
No, I have not. I will do that tonight.
Yeah. I'm sure Lance has a lot to say. He wants to say about Jose Fernandez.
Yeah, I told him to call. I told Lance to come on a little earlier too if he wanted to talk about his fantasy football team.
That's a major source. I don't think that's a topic of major discussion for us to have. Okay.
So I'm sure he'll be coming on. He'll be on tomorrow. He's going to want to talk about that and baseball and all that good stuff.
And one more shout out. I know you guys don't follow golf, but
yes,
long live the king.
Yeah,
long live the king.
Yes, Arnold.
And look for bidders for Sammy Watkins.
I'll tell him not to wait for Sammy. Oh, that's right. I don't have a team in the league. That's what I'll do to him tomorrow.
Hey, I heard you wanted to trade Sammy Watkins. I wish you had a team to take him from me.
Hey, I'll talk to my general manager.
Yeah.
He said no.
He said no, so we can't take.
He said he'd rather play Sammy Davis at this point.
And he's dead.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable. For Scott the Sports Nerd, Elliot Biggie Lamba, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio.
Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Elliot Big E Lumba. Online at sportsworldradio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.